going on? My name is Amy Nicholas. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, say hello. Let me know in the comments how long you've been day trading for. I am in month 4 and I'm currently on day 5 of my 20 trades experiment. So the goal with this experiment was to execute 20 trades, buying 1 share each with a trailing stop loss of 75 cents in order to basically stop overthinking, stop hesitating, stop having all these fears creep up as I'm trying to enter the market. You know, when should I get in? When should I get out? All the things that hold us back as traders, by just dumbing it down to buying this 1 share where I'm not worried about the money. It's a 75-cent trailing stop. So at most, that would be what I would lose per trade. And to just kind of use it as data to go back and look and see, okay, how did this experiment go? You know, I was perfectly okay with losing all 20 trades and a max loss of $15. So I made it so small that I wasn't going to worry about each individual trade, because that's what was causing issues for me, was that every trade I was entering on a daily basis, I was putting a lot of emphasis on that single trade. And it would cause me to get in at the wrong time, to, you know, take losses unnecessarily, to not exit properly, to not get, you know, a good take profit. And so this experiment has really opened my eyes to learning to overcome these issues and how to do it, as well as seeing vast improvements in a short period of time. So I started this actually last Wednesday. Today's Tuesday, March 18th. And I'm up to, today I completed trades 16 and 17. So I've got 4 trades left, 18, 19, 20, 3 trades left, 18, 19, 20 of this experiment. And I may or may not finish tomorrow on Wednesday. I'm not going to push it. Another thing that I've learned so far on this experiment has been that there's a tendency for me to overtrade if I'm doing well, which I think is the opposite of some people, that maybe they overtrade because they're trying to catch up and they're trying to, you know, reclaim some profit or what they've lost. And my issue with that is actually the other way, where if I'm up, sometimes I just want to keep trading because it's fun. And I noticed this last Friday, this is when it came up for me. And it really showed me that, hey, Amy, if you're green and you got it 2 times in a row, just walk. Like, just walk away, right? So today, I'm 100% win rate because I learned my lesson from Friday after doing 4 trades, and I had 2 green, then 2 red. And I said, you know what? I got a 2 for 2 right now. I'm good. So I was literally done with my actual trading day by 6:41 a.m., which is Eastern time would be 9:41. So I was literally done 11 minutes after the market had opened. And so the rest of the time I spent in front of the charts, just sort of watching, seeing what was happening, and, you know, just kind of like learning and absorbing. You know, I think that's valuable sometimes, to just sit there and be out of a trade, because then you can see what's going on. So let's get into the trades. This morning I was looking at, on my watch list, Tesla, of course, my favorite, and Nvidia. And that was really all I saw. And I think a lot of people saw this today, that there was not a ton of movement. Yes, things were to the downside in general. The market was heavily selling after a certain point this morning. But, you know, it was just like there wasn't a lot of crazy action. You know, we're kind of past earnings season. There's not much going on around that. And there wasn't any crazy news yet, because now we're waiting for the Fed talks, which they're not going to change anything with the rates, but still, whatever they say or don't say, it's probably going to affect the market at any rate. So those were really the only 2 I was looking at, and I used my favorite buddy, ChatGPT, this morning to give me day trading levels on both Tesla and, actually, you know what? I didn't ask it about Nvidia, I only asked it about Tesla. And Tesla, it kind of gave some ranges anywhere from like 216.87 to 237. And Tesla this morning, I believe it was trading somewhere around 238 in the pre-market. And I saw just definitely signs of weakness, and it was like selling off before the open. And I said, okay, I'm definitely looking at going short on this if it makes sense to. I didn't get the urge like I have the last couple days of jumping in immediately at the bell. This time I waited, and I'm glad I did, because the first 5 minutes was just straight chop. There was no obvious like support resistance. It was just ranging, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna wait on that. So just kind of like sat back, chilled, waited for something to happen. And I'm glad I wrote this down, because sometimes you're in the heat of the moment of a trade, you just forget if you go back later trying to remember. But I wrote this down right after I finished my 2 trades, and I had signals. So I'm watching Tesla on one chart, which is on the big vertical monitor, and I'm like entering my trades on my curve monitor over here. And I was watching Tesla ranging in the 225 area. And as soon as I saw it tap 224, anytime I see that price action where it's ranging for a while in the same dollar range, and then it moves decisively in one direction or another, I'm like, okay, this is a signal, right? And for me, I'm trying to capture momentum moves where I feel like, okay, as soon as the buyers or sellers start taking over, that's where I want to get in. And it definitely seemed to me this morning that sellers were going to take over. So when I saw 224, 90 something or 80 something, I was like, okay, go. Like, don't overthink. This is the whole goal of this experiment. And I can tell you this, it's working. Don't overthink, you go. You get your signals. I'm looking at the MACD on my chart over here. I'm looking at, I really wasn't looking at the Bollinger Bands, though I have them on the chart. I just kind of was going off of these predetermined, levels that I knew Tesla could range. And so it gave me confirmation that I had enough room that, okay, if I got in at 224 something, then for sure, there's probably some resistance around 220, or excuse me, support around 220. And if it broke that support, it could go down to this 216 level that ChatGPT had told me. So I was like, there's room here, right? So I got in with TSLQ, which is the ETF that shorts Tesla. And the price on that when I got in was 64.38. And it was, again, this is like a recurring theme with my trades the last few days. As soon as I'm entering the take profit, which I'm pretty sure I gave it a good $1, to try to take profit with, as I'm entering into the trade, it's going in at a market order. And by the time it got in, it had moved like another 25 or 30 cents from when I was trying to get in. And so the take profit was no longer at $1. And I was trying to debate of moving it, and kind of like, okay, yes, I should move it was the decision. And I'm watching the price action. This one, I think I was in it like 30 seconds. And I was like, okay, if I try to go, nope, I'm already out. I was like, because it happens so fast sometimes. And I tried to go for that extra reward, but this trade was so quick. It got me out right at 65 and profit of 62 cents per share on this trade, 1 share. But my risk is 75. So of course I was trying to move it over that. And again, just this stuff is wild, right? Like sometimes you are like, wow, I can't believe the move happened that quick. And it's always great when you're green. So green on the first one. The next trade, I almost jumped in immediately, and I said, let me pause and let me just like sort of take a step back here and watch the price action. The MACD was kind of showing the same trend of pointing down, but all of a sudden Tesla kind of got stuck and hung up in the $224 range. And when I looked at the TSLQ of what I'd gotten out, it did go above 65 where my take profit was. And I think I saw it go like maybe 20 cents, 30 cents above it. And then I'm watching Tesla price action, because this is really what you need to watch. You don't watch the price action of the ETFs that you're buying into. You're watching the price action of the actual stock, okay? So when I saw it tap, and again, this is my signal, when I saw it tap the price of 223 on Tesla, I said, go, right? This is the signal. Everything else showed weakness, MACD, I'm watching volume. I'm watching, by the way, one of my confirmations is the 5-minute chart. Okay, that's what I've got up over here. This isn't Tesla, but 5-minute chart is my main go-to, and it has really improved my trading accuracy. So I used to look at just the 1-minute chart because I thought, oh, my trades are so quick. I'm, in and out sometimes 1 to 5 to maybe 10 minutes. And I still look at the 1-minute chart on this monitor right here, but it's more or less like I'm looking for stairs just to confirm like, okay, yes, general trend, green, 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 or red, red, red. But I'm really looking at the 5-minute for the ultimate confirmations. Okay, so signal on this, it tapped 223 on the price of Tesla. I said, go, we're shorting it again. And this one, I got in TSLQ at 65.67. So as you can see, when I got out at 65 before, it jumped all the way to 65.67 at some point. And I wrote down 6:37 a.m. Oh, okay. So I waited, but it really wasn't much time difference. Or unless that's at 9. I can't read my handwriting. It was like a couple minutes, I think. And this one, I kind of like was watching other things. I wasn't, like, oh my gosh, I gotta stare at this trade and make it work. I was distracted. I remember like thinking something else about something else. And I was like walking away from my desk, and I heard the ding, and it like basically I sold, and I'm like looking at my monitor. It happened so fast. I didn't even know if I was in profit. I wasn't really paying that much attention. I just confirmed that, I got in my trade. I'm leaving it alone, yada, yada. And this one, by the way, I did not try to take $1 profit per share because I kind of saw some limitations where Tesla wasn't going to go too much lower. And so I was kind of in the like 70-ish, 60 cent range. And I was like, I'm happy like just leaving my take profit sell order alone. And I'm glad I did, because when I heard it go off, I'm like, wait, what happened? I go look at my P&L and it shows green, like I'm green for 2 trades in a row. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I, did the math, and I was up 66 cents on profit on that second trade. And when I watched the price action for a little bit longer, because I got out at 66.33, I think this says, it didn't really go past that. And so for my kind of trading style, I like to grab and go. Like, I'm not necessarily there to hang around and wait 20 minutes and, wait 15 minutes even. Like, I'm like, give me the move and I'm out. Because I think sometimes I've stayed in trades too long and had it turn against me, and I could have been green and gotten out and took off. And yeah, anyways, at some point I might trade differently. I might try to do a little bit of both, where I am creating a wider stop and can stay in the trade longer for a better gain. But for right now, this is working for me, right? Like, I'm 100% win rate, 2 trades for the day, both TSLQ, both shorting Tesla. And, I walked away with a whole whopping profit of $1.27 today. Now, again, I'm just trading with 1 share. So it's really helped me to care less and less about the outcome of each trade, which I think is really important, because the less you care, the less like anxiety you feel, the less worried you are about the trade going your way. I think a lot of times too, and I forget where I read this, the guy said, it was a trading book. And the guy said, he asked the question, are you focused more on your winners or your losers? And I was like, oh my gosh, like most of the time I'm really focused on a trade if it's losing. And what does that tell you? It's almost like you're creating the outcome, because you're like thinking of, okay, what if I lose money? What if this trade turns against me? You could immediately be correct in your analysis, and you jump in and you're green. And then you start to think what ifs. And then you start to think like, oh, I got to protect, I got to like keep the money, and I got to worry about this unrealized gain, to make sure I don't lose any of it. And you literally will see stuff turn against you as soon as you start thinking like that. So by doing these exercises, I kind of call them, I'm taking them serious. Like, to me, this is just serious as if I was in it for 100 shares. You know, I'm doing one share, but it was in order to reduce the fears around the trade and to reduce the overthinking and the worry. And it's really starting to work for me. I'll give you guys a full rundown when I finish the 20 trades experiment. But right now, I am over 50% win rate across these 17 trades that I've done of the 20. So we'll finish this up. Like I said, I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or Thursday. I'm kind of finding my sweet spot is if I'm green on the first trade, I might take another trade, feeling good, feeling in the zone. If I'm red on the first trade, I probably definitely will take a second trade. So it's kind of like a twofer is my standard, average. And then as far as taking 3, it's like, this is kind of one of these things, like you kind of have to gauge how confident you feel at that point. Like, are you green too? Like I was today, I'm walking away. I'm good. I don't need to prove anything. I don't need to be like, look at me, I got 3 in a row. I'm more like, let me protect the capital. Let me, focus on the fact that I could walk away 100% win rate. It just feels good for your confidence. Should I do a 1-for-1, like go green, then go red? I think for me, that one's the one where if I take a third trade, it's going to depend on how I feel. If I ended on green, and if I'm in profit, I should say. If I ended on green and I'm in profit, I'll probably walk away instead of doing a third trade. But if I went like green then red and I'm negative, I might jump in, for that third trade, depending on how negative I am, just to give myself another chance. But after that, I just kind of feel like the idea of doing too many trades, like over 3, just seems like excessive for me and my style. And also, I'm looking for A quality setups. I'm looking for these windows of opportunity where I think a lot of traders miss them, based on some of the people I've watched live. And I don't mean like they miss it, like, oh, look at them, they should have jumped. No. I mean miss it in the sense of that's not their style. And I personally find a lot of joy in trading by getting these quick moves because it's like a thrill. It's like, ooh, exciting. Something happens very quickly and I'm like, I'm out. Woo, And even when I lost, sometimes it's exciting because you're just like, oh my gosh, look at that red candle, or look at that green candle and you're shorting it. And I think it just suits my personality. Like I ride sport bike motorcycles. I like to rip it on the throttle very quickly and then hold off the gas because I'm not interested in like speeding all over town or anything. But occasionally, I like to just see the odometer flashing very quickly before my eyes and then let off the gas, so I stay safe. But I think that's just my style. So you have to kind of figure as you're doing trading and, if you're new like me, figure out like what suits me and what do I actually like doing? And thirdly, what has shown me some element of success thus far? Maybe you're not even profitable yet, but what trades worked for you? Where you walked away and you felt like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Look at those trades specifically and figure out what you did, like what was your trading style, what was your risk management, what was the time of day, how many trades had you taken that day, like really dive deep into it. I feel really blessed that when I first started day trading, I kind of just found this little niche, this little way of trading that worked for me in the sense of suited my personality, suited my time frame. I like to be in and out, I like to go do other things the rest of the day. I don't know. I just felt like, I kind of found it right away. And then I had successes early. So that gave me confidence, right? So anyways, guys, feel free to check out my day trading resources link down in the comments or in the description below where I've listed like all the things that have helped me thus far get to this point. And you can check out the people I've watched on YouTube. I have a couple channels there I follow regularly. Books I've read. There's a specific video by Mark Douglas that gave me the idea of doing this 20 trades experiment. Like I said, this was day 4, day 5. Pretty sure I said it at the beginning, but I don't even think I wrote it on my journal today. Usually I'm putting the day. I don't think I've written it any days. Yeah, I think we're on day 5. I'm just gonna go with that. And also, if you guys are interested in hearing about my swing trading, because I'm doing some swing trading these last couple of weeks, and had kind of walked away from that for a while, focused on the day stuff. But I kind of like swing trading in addition to day trading because it takes a different methodology, uses like different skills, and you can definitely, I don't want to say set it and forget it, but you don't have to necessarily like super analyze and watch things constantly, right? If you know your levels, you know where you want to get out. Swing trading is just kind of cool like that. So I'm actually got one up over here on my Robinhood account. We are in the money for $2.62. Woo! I've got 5 shares of TTD, the trade desk. This stock has been really beaten down, and my boy that I listed on the day trading resources, Gareth Soloway, he told me about this one. He's like, yeah, I'm doing some swing trading on this one. It's beaten down. It's due for a bounce. So swing trading, you know, you look for these opportunities of small bounces or potential rejects. You know, if something's hitting high, you can short it. But if something's at its bottom, it's just been down, down, down. For example, let's see here. You can see over the last month. I mean, look at this thing. Like, let's take the elevator down, right? So this is just a month worth of action on this stock, and it was at freaking 84 or something like a month ago, and we are trading now at, where are we at? 54.64. It's almost like half its value. So, anyways, guys, take care. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one and join the journey. Let me know, are you doing anything like my 20 trades experiment? And again, how long have you been day trading for? I'll see you on the next one. Take care.